You can bury your past, but the grave keeps speaking. It whispers when you try to sleep. It claws at you when you try to move forward. Every mistake, every failure, every betrayal you either committed or endured, like a ghost chained to your ankle, dragging behind you. And here's the brutal truth. Most men live enslaved to their past, endlessly replaying what cannot be undone. They spend their present, the only thing they truly own, paying rent to mistakes that no longer exist except in memory. Marcus Aurelius said, "The present is all we have to live and lose." Yet how many waste it, staring backwards at what is already dead? The past is a corpse. It cannot be revived. And if you keep digging it up, it will rot your future. But here is the solution. Direct, cold, liberating. Stop. Finally stop. The past has no power except the power you hand it. The Stoics understood. You cannot change yesterday, but you can weaponize its lesson. You can sharpen it into wisdom and wield it like a blade. This is the law of the inner citadel. Your scars are not shackles. They are blueprints. And today, you stop living in regret and start ruling your present. Picture a man sitting in silence at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, replaying the same scene for the 1,000th time. Maybe it was the job interview he sabotaged with nerves. Maybe it was the relationship he destroyed with words he wishes he could take back. Or maybe it was the opportunity he was too afraid to seize. The details change, but the loop doesn't. A constant replay of mistakes, each time cutting deeper, as if regret could rewrite the past. I've seen men live decades this way, haunted not by what they are, but by what they failed to be. They turn their mind into a torture chamber, shackled to what if and if only. And the more they dig, the more the past devours their present. But here's the turn. One man I knew carried the weight of bankruptcy. He lost his business, his pride, and his sense of identity. For years, he couldn't walk into a room without hearing the echo of failure in his head. Until finally, he snapped. He decided the past wasn't a prison, it was a teacher. He studied every mistake with cold precision. He rebuilt his discipline, brick by brick. Within 5 years, he had created a business twice as strong, not despite his failure, but because of it. That is the choice every man faces. Do you chain yourself to your history, or do you weaponize it? The Stoics would say the past is a training ground, not a burial ground. Your pain is not here to crush you, it's here to sharpen you. The Stoics knew the weight of past mistakes because they carried the same scars we do. They understood failure, humiliation, and regret. But they also understood this truth. Your past is not your master unless you bend the knee to it. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice the word, strength. Not excuses, not pity. Strength. Marcus never wasted time lamenting battles already lost or choices already made. He knew the present moment, the decision you make now, is the only weapon that can carve the future. Seneca was even more ruthless. He declared, "No man has such good fortune that sometime he will not be driven to despair by his losses. But it is better to accept this and move forward than to live in endless self-reproach." For Seneca, regret is rot. The man who feeds it slowly kills his willpower. The man who burns it as fuel transforms loss into momentum. And Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, cut deeper than both. Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do, and you will go on well. To him, regret was insanity, an attempt to rewrite the unchangeable. He saw the past as a stone tablet, already carved. But how you read it, that was in your hands. The Stoic fire is this: mistakes are inevitable, but their meaning is optional. You can bleed from them endlessly, or you can turn them into lessons no teacher could have given you. The failed relationship is proof you can endure heartbreak. The lost business is proof you can survive collapse. The betrayal is proof you can fight without trust. The world is filled with men shackled to their past. The Stoic refuses shackles. He takes his failures like weights in a gym, painful, heavy, but ultimately building unshakable strength. Here lies the paradox the Stoics mastered. Your scars can be your chains or your armor. The difference is not in what happened. The difference is in how you choose to see it. So the real question isn't, how do I forget my mistakes? That's impossible. The question is, will you bury yourself under them or rise above them, forged harder than steel? Stop playing victim to your past. Stop rehearsing your failures like a broken record. If you want freedom, you need tactics. Ruthless, disciplined tactics. Here are 5 weapons forged in the fire of Stoicism. 1. Name the scar. Strip it of power. You've been replaying that failure in your head like a coward hiding from shadows. Face it. Write down the mistake. Name it. Speak it out loud if you must. Why? Because what you refuse to confront enslaves you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment." Naming the scar breaks the illusion. Your mind is the tormentor, not the memory. 2. Reframe failure as training, not punishment. You didn't lose. You trained. The Stoic reframes every mistake as a rep in the gym of resilience. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." That heartbreak? Training for loyalty? That business collapse? Training for courage. Failure stops being a tombstone and becomes a milestone the second you decide it was practice, not punishment. 3. Weaponize regret into standards. Regret only poisons when it's idle. The Stoic turns it into law. What burned you before? Let it dictate your new standards. Betrayed because you trusted too easily? Now you build walls higher and only let in the worthy. Failed because you were lazy? Now discipline is your religion. Epictetus taught, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Regret becomes blueprint. 4. Build present rituals that erase. Yesterday, you want to bury the past? Outwork it. Develop rituals that anchor you so firmly in today that yesterday can't drag you down. Morning meditations, physical training, cold journaling. A man too focused on his breath, his steps, his discipline. He doesn't have the bandwidth to indulge regret. This is the Stoic's shield, order. Discipline kills chaos. 5. Ruthlessly reject what's out of your control. The past is dead. Your only sin is pretending you can resurrect it. Epictetus was merciless. Some things are in our control and others not. Your failure is not in your control anymore. Your response is, if you waste your energy cursing what cannot be changed, you lose twice, once in the failure and again in the memory. The cold truth? Let go or be destroyed. These 5 tactics are not gentle. They're not meant to comfort you. They're meant to forge you, to strip the weakness out of your veins and leave behind steel. The man who applies them doesn't erase the past. He conquers it. And when others collapse under regret, he stands taller, sharper, harder. The past will not release you until you tear yourself free. That's the truth most men never face. They live chained to memories, enslaved by regret, crushed by the ghosts of choices they cannot undo. And they die that way, prisoners of a life that could have been. But you, right now, you've been handed the key. Stoicism doesn't whisper, it commands. Control what you can, release what you cannot. Stop rehearsing the pain. Stop clutching the ashes. You are not your mistakes. You are the fire that burns them down. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire while carrying grief, betrayal, and endless burdens, wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." That's the call, to bury the man who weeps over yesterday, and to rise as the man who builds today. Here's the challenge. Starting now, build rituals that anchor you in the present. Reframe regret into law. Reject what's beyond your control with cold indifference. Make every scar your insignia of strength. You are not here to be haunted, you are here to conquer. And if this message strikes you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind. Join a community of men and women who refuse to be slaves to their past. Share this with someone drowning in regret. Comment with the scar you've chosen to transform. Because the past is dead, and you, if you dare, are just beginning to live.